Hi, I'm Nigel. My Glover name is Cinnabon, and I am from the Chicagoland area, and I'm specifically from a town called Mundelein, Illinois. So as far as what makes me unique, um, I'm known for smiling in my gloving videos, so that kind of goes along with like the whole theme of this team in a way. And Um, I also hoop, so there's that. And then as far as like what makes me unique outside of that is I'm a Quaker, which is a religion that a lot of people don't know about really. It's kind of a dying religion, and I guess that's kind of what makes it unique. Um, it's based in Christianity, but like you don't have to believe in God to be a Quaker. Um, I come from an atheist background. I'm trying to really figure out what I believe, but yeah, it's flexible. It's not really an organized religion. And um as far as this team's vision, it's more about spreading positivity and being a family, which is really what I would want in a team. Like I don't usually try out for teams because like to me, honestly, the idea of like, these teams are supposed to be your fam or whatever. Like, they're supposed to be your friends. And to me, the idea of like your friendship being based off of a gloving video that you used to try out for it, like your friendship being based off of how good you are as a glover is just kind of odd to me. So, I'm kind of selective about teams partially because of that. Like I would usually only try out for one or join one if I was invited because I feel like that's a much more genuine way of having connections and things like that. But this one, um, because I feel like it's a group of people trying to grow together, like not just in gloving, um, it's something that I'm more interested in. So that is why I like the vision of this team. And then as far as like projects for what I would like to do to spread positivity. So I actually have two ideas sort of. The first one, well, first off, this year has been kind of rough for me. So like going to shows is just harder to do. I get a lot more anxious. So I'm not sure if I'll ever find myself going back. Maybe we'll see. But if I were to go back, I think it would be really cool to like go to a festival and bring water and just like give it to people who need it. And then another idea I have kind of has like a big background story, honestly. Um, so when I was in seventh grade, I remember my my friend, my best friend, she was also my neighbor. Um, she went to a private school, um, and like I remember she had a coat, but like she wanted a better coat, and like people over at her school were more snobby about stuff like that too. So when Christmas came around, I got her a coat from Hollister, and I just remember she really appreciated that, and it felt good. I love gift giving, so it was just like a nice moment, and I didn't really think about it that much afterwards for a really long time. Um, but last year, I lived with someone that I considered to be a best friend, and um, I had known this person for years before living with him, and he happened to be bipolar. And I mean, throughout my friendship, that was never significant really. But once I was living with him, it was difficult because, like, around this time last year in November, like, I'm pretty sure he went off his meds or he was having an episode or a combination of the two. Like, it was just kind of a mess. And it was really hard to deal with the whole thing. He was drinking a lot more, he was doing coke, he was showing up late to work, and I mean, his job, he was a personal trainer, but he also studied exercise science in college, so um, it was really disappointing to see because I know that job meant a lot to him and it was a big step for his career. And I'd try to confront him over it and stuff, and he'd usually just like ignore me. Like it became talking to a wall, literally. And eventually one day, this part is a much longer story, but basically just a huge incident happened. It was very stressful. It was a huge mess. It was catastrophic. Uh, I can tell it to you one day, but I just want to keep this video shorter. But, you know, like a week later, so yeah, I want to say like 2 weeks later, around finals time, it was super cold. It was getting cold, and he did not have a coat. He had like a jacket, and um, I was friends with him, but also like my roommates became friends with him. So after all of that, we got our money together and got him like a real coat. And I remember we got him a scarf too. But yeah, I remember he was, I mean, he was an emotional guy already. Probably the most emotional person I've ever met, honestly. But I just remember at that time he was really emotional over it, and he cried a bit. Um, and lately, I've been going out to eat a bit more. I have a new job. I graduated in May, and now I work for a medical device company that's like closer to the city. So it's still a suburb, but it's a lot more urban. So I've just been checking out more restaurants, and I've been seeing signs that were like, you can fundraise here, blah, blah, blah. It just like got me thinking, like, what would I even fundraise for? Um, like I actually happened to meet someone recently who raised like $600,000 for a cause he cared about, and I was just like, that's so cool. Like, I want to do something like that. I have no idea how to though. But yeah, I was walking out of Starbucks one day and I saw a coat drive, and I didn't even like think about my past experiences in that moment, but at the moment I was just like, that's what I want to do. And then I remember right after that I went to a sort of a Quaker thing, and they talked about like different callings that you could have, and like how you have to like think about whether or not they actually match you or not. Like someone might feel in the moment that they want to like build a school, but they have no background in education. So when they talked about like reflecting on why you might feel compelled to do something, made me reflect back on those moments. I'm not actually friends with this person that I helped out anymore, unfortunately, but it was still a good teaching moment. And like I looked into fundraising this year, but it's a beast. I'd like to do it next year once I maybe have more established connections, a better plan. But yeah, you have to definitely be more established and have a network of people in order to make something work. Like, I was looking into different restaurant things, and with restaurants, at least with Mod Pizza specifically, like, they're a little bit loose on letting you do it, but like, the people have to bring in the flyer that you give them in order for the money to go to your cause. And I was just like, I don't even know people in this area, honestly. Like, I am very much to myself. All of my friends live like an hour away from me, and yeah, I just couldn't see that working. So, um, next year, maybe I'll do it in the city. That would probably be the best bet, especially if I could like come across a ton of different random people. But that's the type of thing I have going in my head at the moment. So, yeah, this is my tryout video. Thank you for listening. Peace.